What's up people, welcome to today's video. We are here with Steve from Rising Sun Motorsport. We are here at Rising Sun Motorsport HQ. In today's video we are going to go through a detailed as possible run through of the engine setup that's going in my S13. For those of you guys that are new to the channel, I bought recently an S13 that's going to be a dedicated drift car. Steven's going to help us with the build. He'll be there every step of the way. And yeah, we've got everything in the ute at the moment. We're going to set it all out and pretty much got to go through what we have and what we need to order before it gets too late in the year. So before we move on to the internals and the nitty-gritty part of the build, I'm just going to quickly highlight some of the bolt-ons that we've got. We've got a 50mm Pro Gate that's going to be on it with a screamer pipe, a Help steam pipe manifold, Mishimoto radiator with some thermo fans, which is a pretty cool and snazzy setup. Moving on to the turbo, we've got a Greddy TD06 turbo, super handy. It's oil cooled, so it's got one oil line that comes in the top and it's just got the oil return. Don't have to dick around and worry about coolant lines. IKEA formula intake manifold. I'm actually really lucky to be able to have one of these. Still don't know whether we're going to run it or not because we don't know what it's going to be like for this sort of setup. Basically it's a normal, like a forward facing plenum for SR20, but it's got individual throttle bodies on it, just like the RB26 or GDR intakes. I don't know a whole bunch about them, but as far as I've read, it's pretty much gives it a better mid-range torque curve and makes it sound really cool. And I also know that it is very rare and quite pricey as well. That's just some of the bolt-ons. We're just having a look at what we've got here now. It's really gonna start hammering down with rain soon, so we'll see if we can smack this out while we've got some decent daylight. Just a quick side note, so for those of you guys who didn't know, I might have mentioned it in the other introduction video for the S13 or not, but I actually got 3 motors with this deal. So I've kept 2 for myself and I've sold one off. I've got one really good motor and that's what we're about to run through now, and I've kept a spare for myself, which is pretty cactus, and if I was ever going to need to use it, would need a fair bit of machine work. Needless to say, it's just there for a spare in case we need it. And yeah, we got a lot of parts with this deal, so I'm actually really excited to see it all starting to come together. The block that we've got, we believe is forged. We've measured it up to the bores, it was 87mm I think it was. We previously had a quick look at everything and found that all the parts that are here are good to go, and essentially it's just a big jigsaw puzzle at the moment. So we've got a forged SR20 block that's been freshly machined, and you can see it's all nice and clean and tidy. Yeah, but we have to do exact measurements, but we believe it's about 87mm, which is 40 thou over. Yeah. About that, yeah. This is the good head that we're going to be using. We've got some Kelford 280-degree cams. These are just stock ones, I believe, the ones that were sitting on top here. These are brand new Kelford cams. So we did some quick, like 2-second research on them, and we couldn't see much other than the fact that the numbers that were on here was telling us that was 280 degrees, but for some reason it seems fairly excessive for an SR20, like really excessive, especially considering the build is not that aggressive. It's not like a 2.2 litre stroker or anything like that. It's just like a overboard SR20 build, pretty much like a run-of-the-mill forged SR20 build. This is just the rest of the accessories that we got with it. Everything was neatly wrapped up and is still in good condition. We got 2 really good condition cranks. What else did we get? Oh, we've got these. The CP pistons, brand new to go in there. They seem like they're the correct size for this build. Oh, for that block, sorry.
Yeah, they're 87mm pistons.
87mm pistons, so we're assuming that it was bought for that block. It's got all the rings to go with it. So that's exciting. That's a big cost saver there. We've got an oil cooler, which is exciting. I've never run an oil cooler in any of my cars before, and just going through all the small things to see what we've got and what we can make work.
It's all studs and stuff.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's going to be a forged SR20. It's going to be a bit of a weapon. We're not too sure how laggy that turbo is going to be. It is going to be on E85, so hopefully that helps as well. But yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be a pretty solid build. The aim is to try and build it fairly strong and dial it back, just for safe using.
You're not going to need a lot of power to do what you need to do.
We'll build it strong and hopefully it lasts for as long as it does, and we're going to try build it to last. Also, I forgot to mention, we've got a Cometic head gasket as well, multi-layer steel head gasket. Whether or not we use that, I'm not sure. There's talks about Nitto head gasket. We're about to go through and quickly make a list of things that we need to order so we can figure out what to place orders for before everything closes for Chrissy. So we're gonna put the camera down and we're gonna quickly go through that, and then I'll run you guys through pretty much what we need to start putting this build together. That wind noise isn't gonna affect us. So Steve and myself have just gone through everything. There's actually a fair bit that we're missing. I didn't think the list was gonna be that big, but it is. So pretty much, we think that the block has been machined already. It looks like everything's been machined, but to be honest, for peace of mind, I am gonna send the block, the crank, the bearings, the pistons, everything to the machine shop and have everything measured to see if it's gonna be able to fit together and if everything's gonna work together. That's just a peace of mind thing for me. It's probably not a bad thing to do because, as Steve mentioned before, there is a lot on the line when it comes to this sort of stuff. There's no point doing it half-assed. So we're gonna have to have the oil pump decked anyway, because I'm pretty sure the block's been decked so far. So when that goes in, we'll send everything and we'll ask the machine shop to measure everything up for us. So as far as a list of things that we need, first and foremost, we're gonna need some con rods. I've opted to probably go with the spool H-beam rods. They're strong, they're not that expensive, they're fairly affordable. Head studs as well, obviously ARP, I'll be running ARP head studs. Water pump and oil pump, a hose kit, we'll have to get a gasket kit. I mean, we've got enough stuff laying around to piece it together, but for peace of mind, again, I'm gonna replace all the gaskets, so I'm gonna get a full gasket kit. From rocker cover to sump, everything. I'll have to get a clutch. That's like another topic on its own as to what clutch we're gonna run. Probably something nice and juicy. Probably wouldn't hurt to run something similar in the Skyline, whether it's an XED or extreme cushion button clutch, we'll have to see.
Well, you could just go all out and get an ORC super single.
You reckon? Yeah, maybe.
Nice noisy boy.
Nice noisy boy. I mean, it's all options at the moment. Like, I'm trying to build this motor strong. I'm not trying to build it cheap. That's my goal, and I got to keep reminding myself that. I got to build it to last, and if it's going to take a bit longer to make it stronger, I'm happy to do that. So, harmonic balancer, because the one that we got was rooted, like completely stuffed. So, I'm gonna, in terms of boost control, I'm gonna get a Mac valve to run the boost through the Link ECU. I'm not going to go for an external boost controller. That's no point. I've got the Link ECU at my disposal, may as well use it. And obviously then just thrust washers for the crank, which is another thing we're going to need. So it's just a lot of small things that are going to eventually add up, but for the most part we've got everything. I have to do some research, some further research on these cams. Yeah, look guys, I think I've covered the bases of what's going on here. If I have missed anything, please be sure to let me know. If you have any questions, make sure you leave a comment. If you haven't already, check out the video of the shell. I'll leave a link down in the description for that video. Have a look, it's actually a really cool build. I'm super excited to get it out there. We've given ourselves a time limit, kind of, to try and have this done. But also, like I said again, we're gonna try and do it properly, aren't we, Steve?
Yes.
Pays to do things properly the first time, isn't it?
Poor man pays to us.
Oh, that's it. I've learnt that the hard way before, and I'm sure many of us out there have. We've actually got some really, really cool stuff coming up for the next season. In terms of my car, Steven's car, Steven's cars. He's got some cool stuff planned for his cars.
I don't think the 180 is going to be anything happening to it for a while, but the 33 I've got some stuff on.
Yeah. Alright guys, well that's going to wrap it up there for us for today. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Like I said before, leave a comment if there's any questions, and make sure you give us a thumbs up. As always, check out the merchandise, link in the description. I'll be doing a restock soon, like I said before, and yeah, we've pretty much sold out, so you guys are killing it. Thanks so much for the support. Make sure you stay tuned because there's a whole bunch of cool stuff coming, so take it easy guys. Thanks for watching.